Hello. Can you hear me okay? Oh no, top chat. And there's Zach, he's saying hi.
Hello.
He's always welcome in here. Yes, and thank you for top chat. I totally would have missed that. And hi, M. Cunningham. She's so sweet. She even responds to the thumbnail. Hello and thank you. And hi, Di and Copper Horse and Dandy Lioness. Let's see, what did I miss? You went magnet fishing today and you didn't have us be electronic body buddies? I feel offended. Oh, cool. You got a husband and wife to take up the hobby? Let me just make sure. Alright. Yeah, so I almost made it to the time I said. I'm really bad. Just assume it's going to be 5 minutes. I'm going to really try to be on time. I was almost going to put 10:15. I almost did. If I did charades, would that break the NDA? Yes, probably. Yes, we're going to chat about what I can't chat about. Let's see, what else do we got here? Yeah, that is a lot of metal dye. Okay, I think I'm caught up on everything. And yes, we're going to talk about what I can't talk about. But I can... yes, and thank you for top chat. I totally would have missed that. You're going to have two of me for 2 seconds. Alright, there we go. And, okay. I think that the resolution of my video is a lot better maybe if the lights were on, but I like having them off because of the other lights I put on back there, so I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, so I am really excited that I get to do a TV show, and I'm gonna be filming for about a week, and that's coming up really, really soon. And then I will get to talk about it pretty soon, actually, too. Let me do this so I don't play with my hair. All right. So yeah. At the beginning of May is when my NDA is up, so then I'll be able to talk to you guys about it. But so I'm gonna be not probably doing a lot on here, and I've been wanting to get on here a little bit more often, but I've been like having to get some stuff done here the last couple days, like with the basement flooding and just with the yard, like because there's so many, it's so warm and everything. And all the weeds are going to come up while I'm gone. And so I've been trying to get things done here because I'm going to be gone for a little bit for that. And hi, Java Jive. Hi, Becca. If you guys don't remember, yeah, Java Jive is my best friend, Becca. And yeah, and so I'm going to be gone for just a little bit filming. And I can't say anything, and I totally understand like that with the NDA stuff, like because like for the documentary one, like for the longer film I did, The House in Between Two, for that one, when I signed it, like it's because like it was explained to me like it's not just like people giving like you ruining surprises or whatever of your part. It's like also there's contracts with certain like media groups and all that to have like the first like promos and to have like the first interviews and the first like information about things and stuff. And so it's all got to do with like it's based on other contracts too, and like yeah, and not ruining the surprise of things. And so I'm really excited though to like in a couple of weeks I'll be able to tell you guys about it. But So I'll be going pretty soon for that. But I wanted to like do more stuff, but I've been like prepping for that, and so I haven't really gotten a chance to focus on some things that I would have been nice to make videos or like to talk about, because I've just been kind of prepping information for the show, and then also prepping the house and everything like that. Because I know last year when I went to Texas at the beginning of May, I came home and it was weeds and everything. It was real bad. It was that like the 1 week I was gone is the week that like everything in the yard came up. And so I was trying to prep a little bit. So yeah. But and then I forgot to bring the Arduino up. But so the other thing that I thought would be kind of fun to talk about and all that. Ooh, that's me. Was I got something that I thought if you guys wanted to learn with me, cause I got an Arduino sensor kit, and yes, close enough. Okay, yes. And then I will move me. I wish there was a better way to move me on here. But, oops. Yeah, so I got the sensor kit. And it's really easy and it's really fun. Like, I've already kind of messed around with it a little bit. And if you guys don't know what the Arduino stuff is, it's you can make your own. So like it's like the computer components of little devices. So you can make your own anything that's got like a sensor in it, or like a button and a light, or I'm messing around with like you can read out temperature and pressure and like altitude and all that with one of the sensors on here, and you can so you just connect it together, and there's a code that you have to write. But for this kit, they already have the code example for you, so you just have to like copy and paste it into it's a free computer program because it's open source. Like Arduino is open source, and so if anybody wanted to like have a couple nights where we just make different sensors, it's really fun. Like I already made one that like was showing the temperature and the pressure and the altitude, I think, of my location. It was really fun. And I also just got in the mail a distance measurement sensor because I'm really into travel time of lasers, because that tells you a lot of information in different ways. And yeah, and so if you guys wanted to, if anybody else was interested, I got one off of Amazon. This isn't a paid promotion. This is just gonna be really fun for me. I got the kit off of Amazon, and it wasn't that bad for like a fun adult playtime toy. The sensors, it's not super great accuracy, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head, but for like the distance, it was like in centimeters, and it had 3 decimal places, and the last decimal place moves a lot. And like the examples online for like the measurement one. So it's, I mean, for the cheaper for like the beginner stuff that I'm just gonna be messing around with, probably not that great. But I know you can get really good stuff, and you can learn to hook up a lot of different things. There was a grad student who already knew how to do this, and now we had like this analog. It's an EM31. Like we walked, and it collected conductivity of the ground as we walked. But every time I had to take a measurement, I have to stop and read it off of like a dial, because this is like from the 70s. Like the manual of this equipment that I used had people in bell bottoms. Like that's how old this equipment was. It was great though. I mean, it still worked. Science didn't change, but but like I have to stop and read off this dial what the conductivity was, and there was a grad student who was able to like hook into the machine somehow, and they were able to read off the value, and then they were also able to read off the GPS of the location that you were, so you could just walk then with the equipment. You never had to stop and read a measurement. And so you can get, like, if you get really good at this, you can do a lot of things. Right now it's going to be a whole lot of like really probably not super duper accurate stuff, but I mean, it's not going to like the I know the laser like measurement, it doesn't, they don't, the one that I got doesn't go that far. I can't remember how, like, I mean, I saw someone that said that they could do like 8 meters or something. I don't know about that. But I mean, the further away you get, the kind of less accurate it gets for like the ones I was looking at. But yeah, some of your coworkers like to watch ghost hunter stuff, so I refer them to the house in between. Yay, thank you. And then once I can tell you guys which show I'll be doing, then maybe you can refer them to that one too. A little mini pocket computer circuit board, yes. And yes, bell bombs. Yeah, screwy flower power. I mean, I'm not saying anybody that wore them, it, like, I'm just saying, like, you know, for equipment that I used and was telling people important information about, like, the ground, like, around, we did a whole bunch of stuff around quarries, like, these big, like, dolomite limestone quarries. Like, we were using it to ground truth or like build confidence in the ERI, because they had just bought the ERI machine that I use. They had just bought that equipment, and that's the one I learned on. And so we were like just using different equipment to like match up the data, make sure like everything like make sure it worked well. And so that the equipment they already had was the M31 that we used with the ERI. And yeah, they had gotten it already used from the University of Milwaukee, because the University of Milwaukee got a new one. And so the survey took the old one, and the manual had like these dudes having a good time in like these woods with this thing showing it, and like they were in bell bottoms, and they looked like fun guys. That's like the one thing I remember, the bell bottom manual for the EM31. But so I'll probably make a couple. I'll probably do a couple lives, unless I do videos. If like nobody wants to like, you know, at least participate in the discussion of me messing around with these and messing around with my Arduino in the future. Like, if a live with it goes really bad, I'll just do a couple of videos, because it's really easy. The hardest part was understanding what I was downloading from their website. It's open source, but like there was a lot of times I had to give them access, like, you know, where it says, do you want this company to make changes to your computer or whatever. It's just like, I've been clicking yes a lot tonight. So that was like the only, like, that was like the hardest part of this entire process so far. And yeah. Otherwise, I mean, I just wanted to come on because I'm not going to be on a lot. Probably within, like, definitely in a week I won't be on for several days, and I just wanted to come on and say hi. But we don't really plan anything too much, because I wasn't really planning to come on. I just kind of said it to Diet and Christina that I should do a live tonight, and I really thought I was going to be able to talk more about some of this, but then I can't talk about it at all the show. But because I want to stay in good graces with these guys too, because I know these guys from somebody else that I really want to stay in good graces with. And they're really the people that connect. The person that connected us is awesome, and so I'm sure these guys are awesome. And I don't want to mess anything up for them, but it'll be fun. Bell bottom guys were probably in the woods measuring the distance between where they planted their medicinal plants. That is what it looked like. Or like find the best conductive ground. Like find like what ground would work best for planting. Actually, they just like straight up looked like guys that worked for a geological survey in Wisconsin in the 70s. Like they like if somebody was like draw me a picture of. I would just like been like here's the manual for the EM31. But oh, and besides that, so you guys heard about probably that they made arrests in the two missing women from Oklahoma. I haven't been able to follow that story too closely, but what I know is that they didn't think that it was probably the father of the children that was involved in the two women going missing, because he was in rehab, or at least he wasn't physically involved in the situation, but so they were looking at his mother had custody of the kids, and they were looking into her, and they arrested 4 people, and she was one of them. And somebody online said that she had already confessed to it, and so that's like I'm glad that so when they're saying granny, they're saying they mean like the granny of the kids, right? Or are they saying like his grandmother? Because I kind of thought it was the grandma of the kids. It's not his grandma, is it? Like the father of the kids. But so I mean that's relieving that it's not. Because I was really worried. I had called like that tip line thing just in case, and nobody answered. But I was gonna email, if nothing was gonna happen like this weekend, I was gonna email the trooper guy who was involved with my hit and run in Oklahoma and be like, you don't think this is involved, like this is somehow involved, because it was just so similar. Like the weird type of intersection, like country road and right by the border of Oklahoma, and like ours was Missouri, but yeah, and theirs was Kansas, but it was just like there were so many similarities. There were me and Christina in the vehicle. It was just like I was worried that it was either like an attempt and they went like 8 hours away or something because they knew that the cops were looking for them, or like it was like a test run or something. And so I just want to make sure that it didn't have anything to do with what happened on the other side of the state, because there was just so many similarities. And she's like 56. But it looks like it's probably not related at all, so I won't bug anybody about it. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't die too. I'm glad like we had like a Santa Fe like 2023 or something. I can't remember specifically. We had like it was like we felt the car hit and like and all the sound of all the metal and all that, but that car really, like, for how hard that guy hit us, like he did way more damage to his car, and his car definitely reacted to the contact between our two cars like a lot. He like bounced off of us. Like we didn't like our car. It wasn't like for being hit by another car. Like our car really took it like good, and so we were just like able to safely pull off onto the side of the road right after it happened. If I was in a different type of car, I'm sure there would have been a lot more damage, and like I don't know, we probably like the guy hit us really hard. It was just like this was like a really nice new car that's like supposed to take a hit, and like I mean it like it's the type of car that's like it like there were like plastic like I collected some big plastic pieces out of the road and put them in the trunk. Like that car is made to like take the blow for you kind of thing. And yeah, it was really scary. It was like, but everybody that came, because we had several different state and federal agencies and stuff. That it was because we were kind of, I think we were on like a Native American reservation area, because it's Oklahoma. There's like a lot of the state is that, and so we had like we had like a couple different like federal groups, and they really took it seriously, and they had a whole bunch of guys out there because we had a bunch of we had like 7 or so cars like with like on the side of this road, and we had a bunch of guys out there, and had guys, and even with all those guys on the side of the road with us, they had guys driving around looking for the car at the same time. So they had a whole bunch of people out like taking it really seriously. But like the guys were so nice, like all the trooper guys, and like they were just so nice that it didn't even like what could have been a really like a situation that could have made you like really worked up and upset, like they really made you feel like okay. And so just how they handle it, and how Enterprise handle it, because it was a rental car, but I got the insurance, so they were awesome, because I called them too. Christina called 911 and I called Enterprise, and they were really cool. Like they just want to make sure that we were okay. Like I was on the phone with Enterprise like before the troopers were there really fast, but like I was already on the phone with the real person for Enterprise like right away, and yeah, and then I had to call them back with like the case number and stuff, and the guys were just like, as long as you're okay and it is safe to drive, you can just like get yourself out of there. And they just want to make sure that we were okay though, and so they really cared about that. And then like yeah, after we dropped off the car, because that was like on Friday night, and we dropped off the car on Easter right before I went to my parents. And so like Monday morning I got a call from Enterprise, like just making sure we're okay, and that was really nice. And like he needed the case number and stuff like that. Like Zach was all like, Enterprise is gonna look, because it was a hit and run. He's like, Enterprise is gonna look really hard for that guy. Like they have people whose jobs it is to like go after people that like do things like that. Like not just lawyers and stuff, but like Enterprise is gonna like try to find these guys, and it's just like, that is awesome. But they just said, if you get like, before we left with the insurance, he said, yeah, if you get hit, scratched, whatever, just drop the keys off and just walk away. If you get smashed on the side of the road and you can't even drive it, just walk away and drop the keys off it, like, or whatever. And he's like, 'cause it's our problem then. And like literally I went back with like, we had to duct tape some of the car back together so it would stop flapping, and then I dropped the car off like that with like duct tape, and like the sides ripped off with a whole bunch of it in the trunk, and I just put the keys in the drop box on Easter Sunday, and that was it. And they're like, it's our problem now, and that was awesome. It's just so nice to like, something that, like, it was my personal car, this would have been a nightmare. So definitely glad I got that insurance. But, yeah, we were really close to the state line. I think it was a car from Missouri because it was a white license plate, and I tried to read it, but the guy like sped off so quick. I think I got like the first 2 letters and the last number. Like G, I thought it was GBB at the beginning, but I'm not sure. Something like that. I have it written down. And then like a 7. But I should do an ad for Enterprise. I would. And also the Enterprise that is in my area, they like have a championship belt looking thing as a award for being like having the best customer service in like Illinois or something for an Enterprise. And those guys are awesome. If I'm ever having a bad day in the future, I might just walk into that Enterprise just to have a conversation because those guys are so awesome. I won't, but like they are that nice. They're that like I don't even care if they like aren't serious, like if like they're just pretending to be that nice and cool and stuff to everybody. Like, I mean, even if that's not genuine, I don't care because they totally make it seem like it is. But yeah, so that Enterprise is awesome, and that Enterprise in general has been great. I haven't had to do anything with it, with the whole situation. So, but yeah, I was really worried because like once you look at, let me show you where this was. In fact, oh, I'll just show you guys on. All right, let's see. Google Maps, show me Oklahoma. Is this the... I might be getting... Is Eva, Oklahoma, is that the one where the women went missing? Or is that the one... That's the one in the Panhandle? Yeah, that's the one in the Panhandle, okay. I was over by... Wyandotte? And Osage County. We were over here. This is where it happened. So, yeah, if you look at, oh man, we were so close to Miami. But it doesn't even matter that we were close to Miami, Oklahoma, because Okie Burger doesn't exist in Miami, Oklahoma anymore, apparently. So it doesn't even matter that we were that close, because I couldn't have gotten an Okie Burger anyway. That was like one of my favorite memories of any field trip ever, was Okie Burger in Miami, Florida. It's not, or Miami, Oklahoma. It's not even there anymore. Okay, so if you're looking at a map of these United States of America, and then you look at Oklahoma, we were... Am I even getting that on the screen? Okay, good. Oh, I had it a second ago, and then I zoomed out. Why would I do that? Oh, yeah, here it is. So, like, I mean, like, Joplin is up here. We made it all the way to... Where did we get to? We didn't get to Joplin. We stayed that night in... I can't remember. Yeah, no, I can't remember. We stayed in... I'm blanking right now on the city that we stayed in. It's, we were there, like, the night after, didn't Raleigh Strain come from a city in Missouri? And they had, like, his funeral or his memorial the other weekend. We were there, like, the day after that. And so, like, all the, hotels were full. I think that's correct. Enterprise is awesome. They brought me a rental car right to my house on a flatbed and picked it up when I was finished with it. That's awesome. That is awesome. But I feel like that might just be because it's you. And, like, not everybody's going to have, like, not everybody's going to have that kind of experience. Like, we just want to keep her happy with us. Now I'm trying to think of what is that city in Missouri? It's not Joplin. It is, I'll think about it, and then I'll think about it like 2 minutes after we're done talking. Anyway, back to this. So that's where we ended up that night. But now I've lost the city again because I was messing around. Yeah, I lost Oklahoma completely. There it is. So it was this road. And so this is what happened. It doesn't look like that. It just looks like a regular, I didn't see anything special about right there. What is that? I don't remember there being any type of building thing there. Anyway. So we were coming this direction. And this intersection is very confusing, especially with Google Maps and Waze and everything, trying to get you places and changing your route. And we were struggling for some reason that day with like our GPSs anyway. And so then we were trying to make sure that this was where we wanted to turn. And then by the time we got to it, it was a little confusing. There was no other cars around though. It was a little confusing. I should have taken a left here, but I ended up taking a left up here. Yeah, that happened. I took a left, instead of taking a left here, we were coming this way, and I took a left here. But the thing is, I don't know how long this guy was following us. But if he was following us, he must have been following us for a little bit. If he was, like, mad at us or whatever because he couldn't get around us, which is weird because, like, I mean, there was plenty of places to get around us. It's not that crazy of a road. Like, he could have gotten around us. Anyway, he could have taken a left at the spot you were supposed to take a left at, but instead, he also followed us up the wrong way. Like, so if we kept going straight, would he have just kept going straight then? Like, was he, like, legit following us? It was very confusing. So that's when we noticed, like, he was back there because he also followed us the wrong way up the road. And then, like, we were just coming up here, and somewhere really close around here, he just, like, floored it and came around and just, like, literally hit the side of a car. Not like just cut, like, close, like, in the front. It wasn't that at all. The front of our car was always in front of his car. So, like, it wasn't even close to being, like, he, like, cut in front of us too quick or something. It wasn't even, he, like, if I hadn't hit the brakes super, super quick, like a millisecond before he, like, when we saw him pull out really fast, if I wouldn't have hit the brake, I think he would have pitted us. I think he tried to pit us. But because we, like, decelerated, like, so quickly for just a second, he, like, hit the side of us instead of hitting, like, the back of us. And this is a no passing zone anyway, but that seems to be, like, not a good point. I mean, this guy's not going to follow the rules. But this was a no passing zone. And I do have pictures on my phone of this. I could really quick send one of those. But we pulled over, like, up. Well, let's see. Yeah, I think I picked up the pieces of the car, like, around here. And we were, like, here. Yeah, we were, like, here. Some guy, there was a older guy that pulled over for a second here, and then he was gonna go up the street and see if he could find the guy. And, like, we were back here, and, like, pieces of the car were back here. But I'm glad that seems to be unrelated. Oh, I have a picture of Christina. I didn't get a bunch of pictures of when we were actually there on the side of the road because it was like a country road and there were cars that were like coming by. Just gonna send them to. My phone's taking forever right now. Here we go. I can't remember what I was gonna say. There's so many pictures on here. What's wrong with me? Okay. I take a lot of screenshots to make sure I don't forget things. And that's my problem. Oh, I have a lot of pictures of Mr. and Mrs. Ducky and their kids. Here's one I can send off to Zach. Because then it's just a message then on Twitter. Let's see. I have so many pictures of Mr. and Mrs. Ducky. I have to give you guys updates on them in a little bit too. We have fantastic duck details that I can share with you. Oh yeah, and then so here's Christina. I'll also send that. Okay. Why on earth did he do that? I don't know. Because like it wasn't like we didn't have any kind of road rage interaction with this person. I don't even know how long they were back there. I wasn't going under the speed limit. Like I was going about the speed limit, maybe even a couple over, but it was definitely like around the speed limit. And I don't know. I don't know how long he was behind us, but like if he really wanted to get around us, he could have when we did the wrong turn, because it definitely took us like a second to do that. Because we slowed down and then we like passed for the turning left where we were supposed to, and then we went slowly up the wrong way. Like the guy could have, if he wanted to pass us, just taken the left correctly, because he's obviously from around there. But he's probably from Missouri. Like Missouri is right up the road. Somewhere. Everything looks the same. Oh, it looks so much further away. It's literally like right down like the first gas station we found to get duct tape was already in Missouri. It looks a lot further away on here than it actually is. It's like right up the road. I've lost it again. Oh, there's the casino. Is that the casino? No, that's a different casino. Okay, wait, where? Oh, that's by Miami. There we go. Yeah, so here's the Missouri line. So, yeah, and here's where it happened. But let me pull up. Conan O'Brien recalls NBC Network chief who was Never mind, I can't tell you guys about that news article because it went away. But here is the pictures that I just sent Zach on Twitter. So there's Christina. I don't think I can zoom in, actually. She looks barefoot. She is not, I don't think. She's got her cane and a smile because she wanted to look crazy. And there's actually 3 cars in this image. This is like right after like I had just gotten off the phone with Enterprise because I said that the cops were just coming there. And so I needed to talk to them. And so this is before I talked to the cops. I had just gotten off the phone with Enterprise. We already had 3 I don't know. I'm pointing at my screen, but this isn't where you guys are seeing it. Um, so there's there's 3 cars here, and then there's 1 car in front of us already, and this is like really fast. And then there were more cars, and then there were guys going up and down the street. They pulled over somebody like already before I talked to the trooper. They had already pulled over a car up the road that matched the description, but it wasn't them. Not sure how much it matched the description, how they knew it wasn't them, but like I trust them. And I mean, the side of the car is going to be smashed, so that's probably the part that led them to believe it wasn't the right vehicle. And then I also have is the other photo. Oh, I don't know how. I guess I could have sent a better one. I mean, so this is the side of the Santa Fe. We got upgraded to the Santa Fe, actually. We got upgraded without being charged for the upgrade. But the entire side is dented in, and there's like a plastic panel that's supposed to be down here, and that is gone. It's actually in the trunk, and this part of like the plastic around the wheel is that is also off. Let me see if I can zoom in. I will save this. Okay, well, I saved it. I have never had a file named .jpeg _ large. And okie dokie, because I can't open it because it's not a picture file. That has never happened to me. I don't know what kind of image file that is. Let's do this. Can I just zoom in now? No, I'm writing something. What? I worked on a rocket. I can save a picture. Is something I'd like to say. There we are. Yes? Good job, me. Yeah. Oh, I accidentally put a dot. That blue dot was from the marker of the... It's not important. But, yeah, I mean, the handle got scratched. This is all scratched. Scratch, scratch, dented in, scratch. Taken off. Well, this was still half... Some of it was taken off, and then some of it was, like, flapping while we were driving. So that's why there's duct tape there. Oh, I had a feeling you couldn't see what I was pointing at. What? Where did everything go? There we are. So, yeah, so and a fairly well lit gas station. I think they charged me for 2 duct tape rolls instead of 1. Whatever. Get me out of there, you know what I'm saying? And, I didn't realize that until like later on when I was looking at my receipts. But the 2 could mean anything. So, yeah. And so that's all like a scratch. Like that's white. Like if you want to know what color this car was, it was white. If you can tell. But yeah, so that's all scratch, taken off. But like the thing that worried me a little bit was that the wheels were also scratched. But I figured that, like, I scratch up my wheels, like, when I do a really bad parking, like, parallel parking job with a curb and stuff. And it didn't seem to be much worse than that. And I figured, like, you know, if it was like a bad situation with the wheels, we'd already see the low pressure light. And if there was like a seep or something, we'd see a low pressure light. I've definitely been. I had when I worked for the survey. I had to take the survey vehicle to this one like really random auto place because I got this really random, really bad hole in a wheel or in a tire, and it was like on the inside, like where you couldn't like I'd have to like go under my car and look at the wheel. It was on the outside part, and the guy that worked at this shop, like in total dad voice, said that he was really concerned about this. I shouldn't have been driving on it, and he didn't understand how I had. Like, it looked like somebody stabbed my tire on purpose overnight in the hotel parking lot. It was really weird. And I didn't know that. And so I definitely experienced, with good tires, and these are great looking tires, like, having a situation with so I kind of felt okay on the tires still. Oh, hi Sam. Yes. A dent and then the pieces that most of the pieces that came off are in the trunk, but like a picture can't really do justice. Like, I'll have to. I took a couple more pictures. I'll have to upload like from different angles because it doesn't. It's this car. This car took a good hit, but that other car like looked like crap. I mean, it's a white car, and you can tell because there's white on it. But the guy just like slammed into the side of us. Like, you can tell it wasn't like he cut us off too close or whatever. It's like an intentional slamming into the side of us. And yeah, the only thing I was really worried about was the wheel, or like before we got to the gas station to duct tape this, like you could hear it flapping, and I didn't want it to be like rubbing against the wheel. But I figured then like we weren't that far from where we wanted to stay that night. Springfield, Missouri. That was it. Springfield, Missouri. We went to Springfield, Missouri, and like almost all the hotels were filled except for the one that like we would have wanted anyway, and yeah, that wasn't that far away. And I figured if it's a bad tire by the morning, then we'll see that it's a bad tire. We'll deal with it. And no low pressure light, so that was like the only thing I was worried about was the tire. But I figured the scratches didn't look worse than like what I would have done rubbing up against the curb. So, dude could have killed you. I wonder if he was intentionally trying to. Oh, it was intentional. How it looked, like what happened. He like ran his car into us, and then like he purposely like swerved into us and then sped off really fast. And they were saying like there's been a lot of hit and runs in that area, but that's like because like the person doesn't have insurance or the person doesn't have a license or like the drinking and driving kind of thing. And they say, but they always hesitate. Like the person like kind of stops for a second and then takes off, and that's why you can usually get a license plate or like a better description or whatever. But this guy literally, he pulled out and went right in, like he like went up to the side of us, turned into us, and then went back into the lane next to us and then just like sped off. Yeah, the door still worked. Yeah, this car was still really drivable. And they said as long as it was drivable. Like, his car, the side, none of the doors probably worked. Like it kind of looked like a Ford Fiesta-ish kind of thing. Maybe like a little boxier. Maybe it was it definitely looked like it had a hatchback, but it was really small. It was like if a Dodge Neon wanted to become a hatchback. That's what it looked like. And it was definitely over like a decade old. Like this car was not meant to take a hit. Like our 2023 Santa Fe definitely is. Like obviously. But like yeah, it was a much smaller car. Like I don't even like that's why it was so confusing. And actually when I was taking this picture, cuz this picture was at the hotel the next morning, there was this couple was like a daughter about probably 10 years younger than me, and this father guy, he like stopped to like ask what had happened, and when I just did a quick explainer, he said, well, that was clearly a stolen car because nobody would do that to their car intentionally. And it was like, yeah, that's what we were thinking. And that's what the cops were thinking, too, I think. Because they showed us a security image of a car and a guy that was like getting into a car in a security image. And I thought that car maybe looked a little too big. And then I don't know what they did. They looked into that and it wasn't the same car. I don't know what... They were looking at something else that had happened in the area with a car that kind of matched the description, but like, I thought it could be that car, but I wasn't sure because the car in the security image looked a little too big, like a little too long. Like this like really looked like it was a Dodge Neon that was trying to be a hatchback. And I don't know, I hadn't seen a car like that. But if you look up like tiny Ford hatchbacks, you get a lot of things that look really similar. It looked like I had said it looked like Kia. I can't remember what I said. There's a certain type of Kia hatchback thing that if it was a smaller version of it, and now I can't remember. Okay, I don't know how I could pull that out of my head at the time. It was just a weird looking car. Because, yeah, it was a very small hatchback. Yeah. Maybe. That's why I was worried, though, that it had something to do with the women, like, even though they were, like, 7 or 8 hours away on the other side of the state, it was like, I mean, was this an attempt? And now they're obviously looking for the people around this area, so they went to the other side of the state. And, because, like, they didn't say, I guess the 2 women that are missing, their car had like a smashed window and like a bullet hole or something, and it was like we didn't luckily have anything like that, but like I hadn't heard, all they were saying that their car was found on the side of the road. I was like, well, does it look like it got ran off the road? Like, so I was worried, especially when they weren't saying anything about like the condition of the car, like how similar was the situation, but it looks like it's not related at all. I was just worried that this was like either a practice run, like they were really targeting those women, but like, you know, you wouldn't go into something like that like without trying it first kind of thing, or since they failed to get us off the road, like they went to the other side of the state to try. But it looks not related now. Will they contact you if they find the guy, or just tell Enterprise? I'm sure Enterprise would probably contact me. Like, it's between Enterprise now and everybody. But I'm sure Enterprise would end up contacting me, like, just to verify information and all that stuff. Also, I think the trooper might email me. But I was gonna, I don't know, sometime in May, just ask if they ever figured out who it was. But Enterprise had already by Monday, they were all, like, Enterprise had already talked with the trooper several times. Like, by Monday afternoon. uh, so, yeah. And we had just given back the car, like, on Easter Sunday in the afternoon. And yeah, they don't take kindly to people doing things to their cars and customers, and I think that's awesome. Like, they go after people who do that. But yeah, I don't know. I was wondering if the next morning that the person was going to call the cops and say that somebody hit their car in the middle of the night or something. And that's how they explained, that's how they were going to try to explain away, like, that it was smashed up on the side. But that would only be if, like, it was their car. And I think that, you know, by Monday, because that would have been Saturday, because this happened on Friday. This happened, like, the day before those women went missing. Since it, yeah, I would have known by Monday if that would have been the situation. But, yeah, that was that. And we were coming back from an already should have been fine trip, but the attitudes of many others really took what was an okay trip and just slapped it in the face. And then this happened. Like, this wasn't even, like, the worst part of the trip. Like, the troopers were so nice and everything like that. Like, I just needed people to be nice to me, and it made me feel so good to have people be nice to me, and, like, have somebody wrong me, and, like, it is acknowledged that I've been wronged. It just felt so good to have, like, somebody, like, validate that somebody, like, pooped on my parade. It just felt, it was just, my emotions were valid, or, like, what happened to me, like, is not my fault, and they know that. It just felt so good. Like, because the rest of the trip just should have been okay, but it just sucked. And it was just because of the attitudes of everyone else. And so, not Christina. Thank God she was there. Because I would have probably gone crazy. Because there would have been nobody else there to like, validate the just piles of ridiculous poop that people were just, oh my God. That trip. Bad news. So it was just so weird because, like, everybody was just so nice, and that's all I needed. That's, like, all I needed was people to be nice to me. And so this wasn't even, like, the worst part of the trip. Especially with Enterprise, this, like, like, taking over. It's like, literally, this was not the worst part of the trip. I did freak out a little bit, though, when I was wondering, like, did they want to kill us? Like, that was, like, if we would have ended up getting, like, driven off the road and we couldn't get the car started or something, like, would somebody have come back with a gun and shot us? Like, I stopped thinking like that, because it didn't happen, and, like, what happened went well. And, yeah, so because of how this all turned out, this was not the worst part of the trip. Let's see. What else do we have? Alright. I think I'm actually down at the... Yeah, it sure sounds like, he was intentionally trying to, like... I mean, it was intentional, like, just how it happened. There was no way it was, it was an accident, or it was super intentional. So, but I just don't know why. But, I mean, I just wanted to come on tonight. I didn't really have too much of a plan. because the things that would be awesome to talk about, I can't. Yet, but I will. But I'm just not gonna be able to be on in a week for a little bit. So, but I didn't think about doing this until not that long ago. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I don't know if there's any updates on. Dom's not here to look up that. We were gonna get him to look up the story about the guy that was eating the severed leg on the side of the highway. But he's not here tonight to do that. Oh, I saw a lot of things though. Boop. But I can look to see if there's any updates in the case otherwise. Um, 2 hours ago. Let's see. Search for remains continues. So Sade Robinson. I just read some stuff about it, and I actually haven't listened to anything to see how they pronounce her name. And I'm a little nervous to do that with, like, on YouTube, because I don't want to get a strike or anything. I think, Miss Robinson, I think that's respectful if I call her that for now. Yeah, it was in Bakersfield, California. I know for sure. I wasn't sure if there was another one, though, which is, like, terrible to think. Like, I'm not sure if there's another story where somebody's eating a severed leg on the side of a highway. Because there could be. But yeah, so the Cudahy, if you want me to Google Maps where that initial leg was found. It is. Where's the high school? There's the dog park there it is. Yeah, and so after we kind of because it was east of the golf course by the pump house, and it kind of looked like, this looks a lot different than the street view did. No, wait, the pump house, we thought it might be here. Because there's the archery thing. I can't believe I remembered that there was a gate here. Like from an old field trip I took down to the beach here. They had to open the gate for us to see the cliffs there. Yes, that is messed up. And yeah, so the last live we had looked up where she lived, and that was that's the wrong Walnut Street, I think. Is that the wrong Walnut Street? It was... I can almost remember which... North? And 30th? No. But we can look. I'm sure it says. Yeah, so loved ones of Miss Robinson, the Milwaukee woman whose severed leg was found in a Cudahy Park, are searching for her remains and foreclosure. So what I heard, but only have seen once, is that she also had a blanket with her face on it, like a picture of her face on it. And they found that in the park too, and so that's like why they immediately thought it was her, because like her blanket was there, and like nobody else has a picture of her on a blanket. So that's why they immediately thought it'd be her. I'm having an issue with me being on the screen at the same time. There we go. This area. Do you think that the possibly stalked her at all? Oh, I don't know anything else about this story. In the way that, like, the relationship with who could have done it. Do they already have somebody arrested? Miss Robinson's family told Fox 6 News they cannot move forward until they can bring her home. Their exhausting search is hitting a critical point. We can't be at peace. Her cousin said, we need to find our cousin, our family, so that we can have a proper burial. On Saturday, more than 24 people searched for the rest of Robinson's body. That's terrible. They looked in places where police said her phone was at the time she is believed to have been killed, including Warnemont Park in Cudahy, where her leg was found on April 2nd. We're just really playing it by ear, searching areas that we think he may have gone. Loved ones said they plan to continue searches across Milwaukee County. Friends said they came from Minnesota to join the search. I could just see the hurt in her family's eyes, and that hurt me to the deepest part of my heart, said Josh S. She was a very sweet and compassionate girl. I think she deserves justice. Prosecutors charged 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson on Friday with killing Robinson. Oh, so they do have it. Okay. Dismembering her and setting her car on fire. Her family watched Anderson through glass as he appeared in court. How did I miss this? What was her relation to the guy? A Milwaukee man was formally charged on Friday, April 12th, in connection to the death of 19-year-old Sade Robinson. I really do need to listen to something that says her name because I do want to know her how you pronounce that for sure. Prosecutors accused 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson of property other than a building. Oh, that's interesting, other than a building. According to investigators, a preliminary DNA analysis found Robinson's severed leg was found at Warnemont Park in Cudahy the day after she'd been last seen. A criminal complaint alleges Anderson intentionally killed and then dismembered Robinson. Can I say any of these words on YouTube? It doesn't matter. How do they handle somebody that I don't get paid for this? There's no repercussions unless it's a strikes kind of thing, and I can only have like 3 strikes and I'm out. I'm not really sure how that works. Intentionally killed and then dismembered Robinson with the intent to conceal the homicide. Not all of Robinson's remains have been found. The defendant did a tremendous amount of work to try to cover up the crime, including lighting Miss Robinson's vehicle on fire, said Assistant District Attorney Ian Vance Curzon. The allegations in the complaint are abhorrent. It is the highest level of violence imaginable. Anderson's attorney, this guy? Yeah, looks like a freak. If somebody said, hey, do you think this guy is an awful person who could kill somebody and dismember them, I'd be like, yes. Yes, I think he looks like that. Anderson's attorney tried to get the first-degree intentional homicide charge dismissed, arguing there was not enough evidence. The request that was denied. Court records show his cash bond was set at $5 million on Friday, and the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office confirmed he remains in jail. Well, good. I'm glad he remains in jail. According to the criminal complaint, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office and Cudahy Police Department were called to Warnemont Park on Tuesday night, April 2nd, after a human leg was found near the beach. Near the beach. Oh, hey, look, there's my gates. Did he go inside? Remember how I was talking about this gate? And it's like a kind of a steep little drive down to that facility thing, and then you can walk along the beach. Is that the beach? Is that where you, like, that'd be crazy. I just got deja vu and I don't know why. Okay. Like, I've already talked about a story, like, I don't know why I just got, like, super bad deja vu. Like, I already experienced a story, like, a couple years ago. I don't know why. I just saw the video, and how you pronounce her name is right. Oh, Sade. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Sam. I was just worried about playing it on YouTube, because I don't understand any rules. Investigators got video from Cudahy High School. I've talked about the high school because, yeah, the high school's right here, and we walk. So on the field trip I went on, we went down. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. We went down this, and then walked along the beach here because it's really cut in. It's like it's an outcrop, but it's because it's eroding. And so we walked along there, and there's the high school, and then there's a flight path for Mitchell Airport right over it too. And so I just remember that was like one of the coolest parts. Was like if you went to this high school, you'd see really low flying airplanes all the time. Or at least that's how it was. Oh my gosh! Now this is gonna be like 5 years ago. It's as old. This story is as old as the picture I use on my thumbnail. I saw a killer on the way to kill his first murder victim. Saw him on a white bike. He had already done creepy stuff. Who was that? And hello. I guess it's hard nowadays since names how they spelled really sound how it's supposed to be pronounced. Well, there's like such like beautiful names, like, and I just know that however I'm gonna say it is probably not how it is. Mary Havenstein murder. I'm gonna do that. Oh, wait, first I got distracted. So these are the gates right there that I was talking about in the last live. So when I went on the field trip, oh, I'm spinning around. What am I doing? Nope, get back there. No, wrong way. How did I get right up to the... Yeah, anyway. So... that's how we got down to the beach for my field trip. And that's the same place right there. And when I say field trip, I mean like it was a bunch of professionals from the survey. I think. I don't think it was a geology field trip with the students at Madison. I think it was when I was at the survey. Oh, now I don't know. Now I don't... It's... My story is at least as old as the image I use in my thumbnail. It might actually be a year old or two older than that. But okay. Okay, yeah. So investigators got video from Cudahy High School, which is... How did I make this go back now? There we go. Yeah, so this is where that gate is, and then the high school is right here. Is this all part of the... No, that's City Hall. Okay. So yeah, right there. They got video from Cudahy High School to show the parkways nearest the pump house. Wait, so where's the pump house? Okay, so if there's... Okay, so I can't remember what the facility is down here. And, so might be that, or it might still be this. I don't know where the pump house is. But I feel like if this was the pump house, they would have said the archery range across the... Anyway. But I do not know what this facility is. That video showed just before 3 a.m. a vehicle drove the video frame. I read everything like I'm the anchorman guy, and even the question marks that are put in incorrectly, I will read it. let's try to do this again. The video showed just before 3 a.m. a vehicle drove through the video frame and headed east on the parkway toward the road to the pump house. Okay, vehicle drove through the video frame and headed east on the parkway towards the road to the pump house. Towards the road with the pump house. So I still don't know if that tells me which one's the pump house. The complaint states the vehicle did not make a southbound or northbound turn once reaching the intersection near the service road. Oh, so that is the pump house with the service road. Okay, I should have just read the entire paragraph. Whatever, we don't need to do things right here. Nearest the service road before... Okay, let me start that sentence over again. The complaint states the vehicle did not make a southbound or northbound turn once reaching the intersection nearest to the service road before disappearing from the footage, consistent with the vehicle driving down the road that leads to the pump house. That is the pump house. So it did not make a north or a south turn on Sheridan Drive. It just went straight towards the gate. Because this guy is the smartest man in the world. And he does terrible things and also makes terrible choices like driving towards a road with a gate. Employees of the Cudahy Water Department reported damage to the service gate after the evening of April 1st and before the morning of April 2nd. Whoops. That looks damaged. Because we can tell from my investigation here. That looks damaged though. Does it look damaged in this? Anyway. It kind of looks the same. No, this definitely looks more damaged. Okay. Because of this part. I don't remember it being a super bad looking gate. I just remember it being in my way. The damage was consistent with a vehicle ramming the gate to get through. The complaint said video footage from the pump house showed at 3:02 a.m. on April 2nd a human figure was seen, and human probably we mean loosely. It does look the same kind of. I mean, I can kind of see this part. It's off and stuff, and this looks like it might be a little curved in, like a car kind of hit where the stop sign said stop. This sounds very interesting, but unfortunately we have to be going to bed. Good night, Sam and Becca and Max. Good night, Becca. Jabba Jive. And Sam is Tank. Yes, let's see. Was seen going down the bluff to beach level. Okay, so there's the bluff there that I said. And human, they're using the term loosely here. Human figure was seen going down the bluff to beach level. Why would you pick this area? Anyway, I mean, it's just a dumb... I mean, you can't make sense of why people do these awful things. But this is really dumb. Like, when we had the guy, because I live in Highland Park, when we had the 4th of July shooting, when I found out where, like, that they got him and where they got him at the left turn off of 41 on Wesley, that is, like, the longest left turn, like, off of 41. Like, that is a forever light. If you get stuck there, he's being chased by the cops, and he decides to take a left while he's on 41, like, taking a left onto Wesley. It's like, you just, like, you already deserve to be caught, but, like, if you're in a police chase, why are you taking that turn? You already deserve to be caught, but you so extra a little bit amount deserve to be caught after thinking that was a good idea. And that's, like, kind of the same feeling I'm getting with, like, like I've been like on this beach, and this is like the weirdest. Like I'm just having a hard time. Like, why did he decide this spot? But I struggle because I know like I'm not gonna understand the mind of somebody like this. He appeared to make multiple attempts to walk between the beach and the pump house's service drive. Around 4:30 a.m., the vehicle that entered the closed gate left the park and headed westbound. I mean, I don't remember. I remember it being like cement blocks and stuff like that. Like, it's not like a smooth beach, especially at first after the service road down there. It's what a stupid place to go. Shadi Robinson missing. Robinson was reported missing at Milwaukee Police District 5 around 9 p.m. on April 2nd. Officers went to Robinson's home for a welfare check, according to the complaint, but didn't find her. Officers then reached out to the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office to make sure they were aware of the missing persons report. Also on April 2nd, the Milwaukee Fire Department was called to the area of 29th and Lisbon for a car fire. That's what I was looking for. I knew it was like a street I knew. Oh, do I still have it in? No. I'm going to take that off of there because there's some things saved in there. For other projects that you guys don't need to know about those projects. Where are we? Guess I have a little man on. Oop. Yeah. "29th and Lisbon. For the car fire? This doesn't look like the same 29th and Lisbon as before. It does, but it does. Like, this place is not there. These houses. Why does. I'm really confused all of a sudden. Why does this look different? Did they update the image over the last couple of days? For where the car fire was? It totally looks different, but it looks the same. My mind is being blown right now. Hi Vargas, who is Stogie on Wheels. I guess you came in the stream at the right time. Oh, where people are saying goodnight. My mind just got blown by the address. Because there's Walnut Street. And there's 31st and Walnut. Oh, they put me... Okay. Here's the... 30th in Lisbon is what they were saying the other night. Or in the other one. They said 30th in Lisbon. And that's why we were like, oh, it's probably... her house might be somewhere over here. But now they're saying 29th in Lisbon. And there's a behind her house here, and this looks more like houses here. This makes more sense than over here, where there's not really a house by that intersection, except for down here. But they're so similar. the two intersections, like kind of the house situation. But I was like, I remember this yard being totally different. That's because it was one block over in the other article. It's too late for that. Okay, so 29th in Lisbon instead of 30th in Lisbon. For a car fire around 7:30 a.m. Authorities used the car's license to find out it belonged to Robinson per the complaint. A detective spoke with a friend of Robinson who remembered Robinson had a Life 360 app which provides location-based services and allows users to share their locations with others. Per the complaint. Was that part of Riley's? Did they mention that in Riley Strain's case, the Life 360? Recently, that was mentioned, and that's an Apple thing. When checking the Life 360 app, the friends saw Robinson's phone appeared to be in Warnemount Park around 4:30 a.m. on April 2nd. Investigators checked Robinson's phone records. The complaint states records showed an association between one of the numbers being texted and Maxwell S. Anderson. Anderson also provided that number during a booking process, which led to authorities identifying Anderson's residence. What an idiot. I mean, you're already a bad guy, but you're just such a stupid bad guy. So many stupid turns that the stupid guy made. And he's also evil. The complaint states Robinson and Anderson met at Twisted Fisherman, a restaurant on Canal Street, for a first date the night of April 1st. Didn't I just see... that was over by where she was last seen. I think, right? Maybe not. This doesn't look... No. Okay, I have to point out something. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources was right across the canal. That is the first thing my brain saw. I don't know why. Well, I know why. I had to work a lot with those guys. That looks fun. I mean, I don't know about location. It looks like a great place otherwise. So, I mean, I've never been there, so I can't say. I mean, the location seems odd for a restaurant, but it looks nice otherwise. Huh. I'm still like blown away by the fact that we got a different intersection one street over in the other news article, and it was just so close to similar. It was just like I was seeing a different version of reality, and my brain just can't get over that. Maybe I need some water. Okay. After authorities identified... Oh, wait. I skipped. The complaint states Robinson and Anderson met at Twisted Fisherman, a restaurant on Canal Street, for a first date the night of April 1st. The owner of the restaurant told investigators Anderson was a former employee there. A bartender at the restaurant said Robinson and Anderson were served and appeared to have casual conversation before leaving together. After authorities identified Robinson's car as the one set on fire in Milwaukee, investigators canvassed the area. The complaint states near 31st and Galena, a detective found a human foot in a wooded area near the train tracks that border a nearby playground. So let's go back to this area. 31st and Galena. Okay. So 31st and Galena. Railroad tracks, playground. Yeah. So here's a playground. Oh, 31st and Galena this way. I see. 31st Street is on one side of the railroad tracks and the other. Yes. Railroad tracks by playground. 31st. So they found it right around here. And so her house and the car fire were up here. Yeah, and the foot and the leg found at Warnemount Park appeared to be from the same individual. Other human flesh was also identified in the area. They probably mean the park by 31st and Galena. Investigators later searched Robinson's burned car. According to the complaint, a remnant of an iPhone consistent with the type of iPhone Robinson was known to have was among the items recovered. But they said that investigators later searched Robinson's burned car, which is up at 29th and Lisbon. According to the complaint, a remnant of an iPhone consistent with the type of iPhone Robinson was known to have was among the items recovered at 29th and Lisbon. But her phone said she was at Warnemount Park. So he drove her car back to her home and set it on fire after leaving. Because the phone at some point was down at the park. And now it's up at the car. Am I following that right? Investigators obtained video from a Milwaukee County Transit System bus that showed someone walking away from a fire that was beginning to burn in the parking slab behind the building at the corner of 30th and Lisbon. Oh, there's 30th and Lisbon. So, the 30th in Lisbon from the other night, that our first theory thing was it could be up on this like slab area. And is that, I mean, that also looks like a behind her house. Okay, we'll have to figure that out when it's not almost midnight. Because they said it was behind her house. Unless I mean in general, like nearby, behind. Anyway. The person appeared to be a white male wearing dark pants and a dark gray hooded top, carrying a tan-colored backpack with tan straps that appeared to be full. As the bus continued to drive westbound on Lisbon Avenue, the burning of Robinson's car was clearly visible. Okay. Yeah, so it kind of sounds like he used her car and then like brought her car back near her home and then set it on fire. The complaint said a person who appeared to have witnessed the car being set on fire can be heard on surveillance video from a nearby food mart yelling, "He did that," while pointing across the street to the person with the tan backpack. That person also began yelling for someone to call the fire department. Good for that person. Because I definitely wouldn't, I wouldn't stay quiet if I saw something like that. I'd be the guy yelling too. But we need more people that do that. But he's just lucky that, he's okay after yelling that and pointing at the guy. Detectives then saturated the area looking for surveillance footage that would capture the person with the tan backpack. Detectives learned the person eventually got on MCTS bus around 8:12 a.m. on April 2nd. The bus was headed south on 35th Street, which is towards Anderson's home. When Anderson arrived in his neighborhood, surveillance video from a nearby home showed him going through his back gate from the alley. The complaint states his dark hooded top and tan backpack appeared full and were visible in the video. Sheriff's Office detectives stopped Anderson's SUV around 1:15 a.m. on April 4th. He was arrested near 38th and Lakefield, a few blocks from his home at the time. 30th and Lakefield. Let's see where that is. Lakefield, yeah, that was right. How do you like that going down in your neighborhood? Where are we? Oh. Okay. Well, I'm glad they got the guy. I don't know. It finally hit me how tired I was when I got all messed up from that intersection thing. 29th or 30th in Lisbon. Because they look very similar. It's not my fault. Yeah, it kind of sounds like he used her vehicle and then left her phone in the vehicle when he, like, started on fire. What a terrible guy. Person. Terrible... I don't know what word to use. Not a person. Not a human. I don't know. People are bad. I just don't know how you could do that. I'm tired. I got a lot on my mind. Ugh. So, does anybody else have anything? We'll just have to wait till Dom comes back and ask him about that. If there's a different story of a severed leg being eaten on the side of a highway, if there's like at least two stories like that, or if it's just the Bakersfield one. Because that was Bakersfield, California. Personality disorder. I mean, I am a mental health advocate, and like, you can have mental illness and not be evil, and you can be evil with, like, you can have a criminal mind and it's not a mental illness kind of thing. And I'm not versed enough in, like, personality disorder stuff. But I don't think that there's any specific personality disorder that could really fully explain how you could be okay with just killing somebody and dismembering their body and setting their car on fire and, like, sprinkling their body parts around the city. I mean, evil isn't a mental illness diagnosis kind of thing. It's just, like, I was going to do a video at some point after. It's really hard to find information on, like, relating mental illness and, like, instances of violence and stuff, because I know that the percentage of people with mental illness, it's like they're more likely to be victims of violent crime than to commit them. But then again, it's also because of the mental illness putting them in the situations of, like, especially with, like, schizophrenia, things like that. I know that they end up homeless because of, like, their a lot of times with the living situation of people with that, they end up being homeless. And I know people who have actually experienced loved ones who have that, and like they'll go periods of time where they'll leave the house and then they'll come back and they'll be and those people will be homeless for a little bit. Like, and because you're out on the street, then you're gonna be like, it's easier to be a victim of a violent crime. It's very hard to, like, start to look at. There's just not enough known about mental illness, like the like actual symptoms, and like how how people actually deal with it and how they feel and all that. Like, it's really hard to study like feelings and stuff, and so it's like just really hard to tell. In the cases like where it looks like somebody's got to be crazy to commit this crime, it's like, yeah, but that's not a mental illness diagnosis. Like, this is like a really good point that you brought up, like personality disorder. Like, it's like like mental illness has to be studied better, but like in a a respectable way. Like, that's like really, mental illness is like the only thing kind of left that doesn't get the like PC situation. Like, you can't say anything bad about a whole bunch of things, but like you can still use mental illness as the reason somebody did evil, or like as I remember recently. Oh, there's such a good example. I think it was The View. I can't remember. Somebody said a really crazy insult, and it included mental illness in the insult. But when they apologized for the other thing they said. I gotta look this up. I gotta think about it a little bit harder, because it was just insane that they never apologized for using mental illness as part of the insult. They apologized for like the other thing they said, and now I can't remember what it was. It was just like, because like I have OCD, and I know I've had it for a long time, and I talk about it a lot. I've been diagnosed with it since high school, and I know like they were trying to say Stony Brook, the guy who went into the kindergarten, I think, is that, yeah, Stony Brook. They tried to say it was like his OCD, and like he had like anorexia, and it's just like, OCD, like I have it. I can tell you that is not even any type of OCD is gonna have you do that. Now there's pure OCD. I don't think that should be in the OCD spectrum, but I think that may lead to people doing things. The pure O kind of OCD, I think that actually should be studied more, because I think that if there's anything that could lead people to do harm to others, I think it could. I think that the OCD that does not have the compulsion part to bring you down. Because I have OCD, but I have had like 2 instances in my life that I think are like the pure O kind, where like you can't get this thought out of your head, and you get like the tunnel vision and stuff. And I can see that, like, I didn't have like a violent thought, but a lot of people do have violent thoughts with pure O, and I can totally believe that could push you to do something crazy. So I really think that should be studied more, and in a respectful way. I don't want to like, I'm not talking bad about people that have it. It's just like, I think that needs to be studied more, because like I think the more we know about that kind of thing, the more we can help people. And I think that out of anything right now that I know of that people aren't talking about, I think it's that type of mental illness that should get a little bit more research. Yeah, because they didn't get it right. Which, I'm sorry, I talked a lot, and now I don't know which part of what I said you're referring to. Can you explain me? But yeah, I mean, I'd never hurt anybody. In fact, like, I always, I think a lot of people with certain types of mental illness have maybe too much empathy. I don't know. The apology part. Oh, yeah. I can't remember. I can't remember. It's like they threw in like 2 insults somehow when they had to apologize. They didn't apologize for They skipped over the fact that they used mental illness as an insult, and they apologized for the rest of it. It was really not what I thought they were gonna say, and I can't remember at all. So I'm gonna have to look this up. I can't remember it at all, but I want to say it was like somebody on the View. I just can't remember. But it was like you don't ever have to apologize for using mental illness negatively, and that's just it's always used to excuse like evil and stuff. And like I mean, you brought up a great like personality disorder. Like we just don't know yet a lot about mental illness, and so I think because you can't just like when people say he had an undiagnosed mental illness, it's like, well, what one do you think he had? And then that's why he like went on that rampage, like kind of thing, like because going on a crazy rampage isn't a mental illness. It's an evil thing. It's a bad thing to do something horrible like going on a rampage or something. But I mean, if we really want to start solving that, I think that rage disorders also have to be looked at, because I think there's a lot of rage disorders out there that I think there's also something really weird right now going on with this, like, we talk with a lot of people who aren't, like, I'm interacting with awesome people, but it's, like, not in person, and I just think, like, somehow there's the disconnection of a lot of social, a lot of socializing, just somehow like when like with road rage, and you just see, instead of seeing a person behind that car, you're just seeing a car that did you wrong, instead of like a real person that like I really try now not to like get mad at people that do stupid things when they drive, or like, you know, when I want to give them a middle finger, I'm not going to, because you don't know what that person is going through. Like that could be somebody coming back from like their parents' funeral or something, and you're gonna give them the middle finger because they cut you off because like they got like tears in their eyes coming back from like their parents' funeral. Like you don't know what's going on with that car that just like did you wrong. If everything's fine and they didn't hit and run you on a country road, like I mean, I just let that kind of stuff go because I think of the person behind the wheel, and or if it's like if it's somebody like somebody's mom or dad behind the wheel, I wouldn't want somebody yelling at my mom and dad or flicking them off or whatever. Like, so I'm not going to do it to whoever just, like, you know, cut me off or whatever. But I just don't think a lot of people think about the person behind the wheel now. They just think of it as, like, a object car thing that did them wrong. I don't think they're actually thinking... Because you would never walk up to a, like elderly woman in a parking lot, like, to this woman. You wouldn't just walk up to somebody and start yelling at them. Like, but you could definitely just yell at them when they're in their car driving. Like, so that's just weird to me. And I'd like to know more about why that's happening. And I think it's got something to do with just, like, how we socialize now. I don't know. But now you made me think about a lot of things, Charles Hill, and now I have remembered that I wanted to look up more stuff about mental illness, where we are, especially with rage disorders, because they were going to start to study more about those. And so, thank you for reminding me. And, yes, thank you. But yeah, I'm not weirdo. I'm not weird. Like, let's see. They think that, well, Tesla had OCD. And they think that Albert Einstein had OCD. And there's a whole bunch of... My OCD, though, is not like Howie Mandel. Especially if you, like, know me. You know, like, I don't have, like, Howie Mandel's OCD. I have, like, Jesse Eisenberg. He's described his OCD before. And I have it like that. But I'm not crazy. But the whole point of OCD is that you know what you're doing is dumb and how you think is dumb. But your brain, like, the chemicals in your brain are, like, releasing, like, the feelings of... It's mostly of, like, you didn't do that right. And so now you need to do something to fix it. That's, like, I feel, like, all the time that I didn't do this right, so now something has to be done to fix it. And that's what my OCD is like. And yeah. I don't know, that's all I got. But I will never hurt anybody intentionally. But yes, you brought up a lot of things I wanted to talk about eventually. So thank you. I will remember to. I just want to get more statistics and more numbers and stuff for you guys before I start talking about it. Because I know it's a important topic to some people, and then some people it's like I just want to make sure I say everything right too, because I don't want to say anything wrong. Because it could be really easy, like if somebody has a certain mental illness to offend somebody. Like I don't mean to offend people with Puro or anything. It's like I think that one needs to be studied because I know it's scary. Because I think I have experienced it once or twice, for sure once, maybe twice. Once in elementary school, once when I was an adult. Like I mean, it's so impactful the feeling that I got that I couldn't get over this thought that like I really think that I did experience it once in elementary school and once in or once as an adult, yeah. I've checked the locks and returned the house from 15 minutes away after checking 6 times. And from 15 minutes away after checking 6 times before, yeah. Yeah, the locks are a big one for me every night. And electrical stuff. My big thing is, for some reason, like fires and stuff too. And so like I like just electrical things. Like I don't know. Like if I have an extension cord that has a switch on it, they gotta be off. Oh yeah, no problem. Like I said, Charles, I'm gonna at first read everything like Anchorman, and Copper Horse knows this. But then I'll figure it out. Oh, also the issue is too when a new comment comes in, that heart symbol blocks some of it too, and so I couldn't read like the 15 min part either. Like I couldn't read the min. I didn't even know min was there, like because that's just where the heart was when your comment was down at the bottom. You've taken mushrooms and it's helped. I was told specifically by a friend who is well versed in that kind of thing that I should not take mushrooms. And very nicely said to me. Because he said that if you take mushrooms, the walls will melt and the couch will try to have a conversation with you. And he said, and when that happens, you gotta just let it happen. And he said, like, just don't freak out. Yeah, he said, just don't freak out if the walls start melting and the couch wants to have a conversation with you. And then he said to me, maybe you shouldn't do mushrooms. I mean, I wasn't going to anyway. We were just like walking on the sidewalk, just talking, going to class. But yeah, I don't think I could handle something. I don't think I could handle the couch having a conversation with me because I think the couch would get mad at me. If that's like the kind of thing if that's the kind of thing that could happen if I'm on mushrooms, like, I need reality. Like I think reality kind of sucks. Like, at least 75% of the time. But like I'd rather be in this reality than in a reality that my brain gets to start making up. They haven't done them. No, I know he has. But he's also a funny guy that was probably just trying to like make sure I never took them, because I don't think that anything that could make me experience the world in any different way would be good. I've seen Stargate letters all over the walls. Yeah, reality is confusing enough. No, I know the guy I was talking with has, but I think he's probably just trying to scare me away. The couch remembers you farting while you were sitting on the couch. Yeah, it probably would want to talk to me about that. yeah, I don't know like how much of that was like an exaggeration, but like it was a good way to tell me that I'm not probably the best kind of person to take them. But I'm glad they helped for you. Um, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But before I have like too much conversation about the mental illness aspect with like crime and stuff, yeah, I definitely want to like look more back at statistics and other things just to like get it right, because I don't want to like offend anybody or upset anybody by anything I say, because I just want to tell facts and personal anecdotes. But I talk about OCD like that was when I did pageants. One of my platforms once was mental illness awareness or OCD. I can't remember. And then I also did. I won conference in Farrago in forensics. I had to do a whole bunch of different types of literature-ish things, and I decided to do mine on mental illness. Everybody else did theirs on like love or something. I was like the only one that went specific enough, like, and I got first place. But I only got first place because I got consistently second in each round. So, but sometimes first got like third in one round or whatever. So I was consistently second, so I won. And mine was about mental illness, and I definitely mentioned OCD in it. And I think that it's good to not, I like still feel a little funny when I talk about it, but I don't think people should, because that won't ever help the situation. I think more people need to feel comfortable with the fact that they could have something, so then they go and talk to people about it so they can get better. Because if you make everybody feel stupid or bad about thinking they might have something, then nobody's ever going to get help. I almost read your I almost read your couch thing again. Yes, I have to have a conversation with my couch about what I've done. Like, drugs or not drugs, I need to sit down with my couch and explain myself and apologize. And I probably owe it some money. I don't know. I feel like I gotta give it like a 50 or something, just to like get over it. All it is you see that your mind makes your reality and goes real deep, honestly. I want to say that I could handle being deep about stuff, but I'd probably just, I'd be a bummer. Man, I'd be a bummer. I would be no fun to do that with. Yeah, that takes you back. Where is it? You're like one of the only fun memories of high school. I'm glad that's over, except for like it finally started being fun like towards the end. I don't know. I got to be on homecoming court to spite the other tennis players, because either the coach got to pick who got to be on homecoming court for the different sports, or like the coach got to decide, or the coach got to let the team decide. And everybody was really mean, because that wasn't the coach who was normally always the coach at the time for tennis, was not her that year. And so Jill was the coach that year, and everybody was really mean to her, and I wasn't. In fact, like, I mean, I'm distantly related enough that I went to her wedding, and she hated everybody else because they were so mean to her, and so she said, "You can be on homecoming court if you want to be, because I get to pick, or I get to let them pick. And so, do you want to be on homecoming court?" And I was like, "Yes." So that's why I was on homecoming court. I earned it because I wasn't a jerk. That was also a fun memory of high school. Who was the guy in charge of the radio station at the high school? He was friends with my dad since high school. Because my dad was in high school. He said I had a nice voice and I should go on the radio. Then I tried to go on radio at UWMass, and they told me to get lost. So, reality. I should not add drugs to reality. I'm good. Di, did you have a good time listening? I came on because I was all like, I was gonna come on tonight and or tomorrow night, and I said to Di about it, and she said, oh, you should come on tonight. And then I was like, well, if Di thinks I should. But now I realize I had nothing to say. You lost the Mr. B town competition because I was already on homecoming court. I'm sorry. Wait, what was the Mr. Because that's not though like the pageants I did. Which one was Which one was that? I know I've heard about it, but that just wasn't my group kind of thing. Because that's not like the Chocolate City Fest pageant stuff. That was my competitions like that. I feel like you're either laughing at me or you're like very confused right now. But I hope everybody had a good time tonight. I don't know. I feel like I gotta at least come on. I'm really glad that Mr. Beast stuff looks so different from when he started to like when he became successful. Because like I'm just trying to like throw anything, like I'm just trying to throw ideas against the wall, or at least have a presence on here until I figure out what works. Because just not being on isn't gonna help. Unless I do something that's really stupid or terrible while I'm live or like in a video and I put it up, then it's like maybe I should have just not been on. I don't think that's happened yet. Maybe. I'm so glad though that Farius and Becca and Sam have showed up too from my real people experiences. And Christina is still not feeling well. She's got to get up at 3 to take medicine every morning too, and so her sleeping's really messed up, so she's not on lately, and that's fine. But Di, I know Di in real life, so. But yeah, so I'll do some stuff about the Arduino maybe and learning that, cause like I don't know, it's not that confusing-ish. Yes, you are a real person. Congratulations. Yeah, I mean, because I already know how to, like, code in Python and stuff, so the Arduino thing kind of makes sense to me. And I've already worked with, like, programming a transducer and stuff for water levels and observation wells. So I get the whole idea of writing programs and sending them to equipment to do things. And it's just like dealing with a different-ish kind of language. But the Arduino will be fun, so I'll definitely see if everybody wants to do a live where I struggle in person, like in real time with my coding and or wiring issues. Or I can just make a video where I do it right and I look like I know what I'm doing, like, immediately, without the struggling. But, I think I'm gonna go. Because I need to eat a snack and go to sleep. And I gotta get better at not doing Midwest goodbyes. So, Di, I need you to say goodbye so then I can go. Yeah, unless there's anything else anybody wants to talk about. Or if Vargas was still gonna remind me where the Mr. B Town competition. Why? Like, I know that existed. I just can't remember where or when. Was that something to do with? I mean, I know that existed. Just gonna wait a second to see if Vargas responds to that. But I see that you said goodnight. But now I'll. You're not gonna. Okay, fine. Because I know it existed, and you know what? Who cares? Because you weren't it. Because you were on homecoming court. So, screw them. Okay.